Good morning, Scott here, known as Cantaloupe to some online, bringing a subject to you today that's interesting to me. It might be of interest to you or someone you know. It is Saturday, April 12th, and I am enjoying a nice brisk morning on my way to make some corned beef for breakfast, probably for lunch by the time it's done. And the subject is one of confusion for a lot of people. Like many of my subjects, I try to expand on ideas and share my perspectives, not so much opinions, but ways to look at things that might help you make better informed decisions. That's really what it's about. So the subject in this case is a type of complaint dismissal that is very common. We have lots of ways to dismiss protests, to prevent them to begin with, and to deal with them when they happen. We have a monologue culture, but that's a separate subject. And any monologue culture requires dismissing protests. That's because you end up with a lot of them. So you have to have a robust system of handling protests and unhappy people, basically. So anyway, the way we do this many times is people, managers, administrators, authorities, they intentionally conflate direction and magnitude of a complaint. For example, you might, say, this is another true story, but including true stories from my experience in my videos. Last year, I got a nasty virus and had to go to the hospital. I didn't have to, but I chose to. After 3 days, I thought I could benefit from some antibiotics, and because I wasn't showing an immediate improvement. And normally I do. I'm not immunocompromised. I want to just, go on record with that. I beat everything real fast. But this particular bug's been going around, and everybody who's got it in this area has had a real hard time with it. I don't think it was COVID, but it was nasty, whatever it was. But anyway, so I went to the hospital after 3 days and thought, I could use some antibiotics. They told me you cannot get antibiotics without a chest x-ray. Okay, well, that's a whole separate video. I'm not going to go into that, but I did not leave with antibiotics, and I chose to leave without the chest x-ray because I didn't feel it was called for or necessary, and they're making money off of it. So whether I'm paying it directly or if it's coming from insurance, it's still inappropriate. Who's paying doesn't make it appropriate. And this is an example of what I'm talking about, where if a doctor were to say, hypothetically, as a rebuttal to this whole situation, well, chest x-rays or any x-rays are safe now, safer. Well, that's the question. Are they safe or are they safer? There's a difference. Now, here's the difference. X-rays are not safe. They're not 100% safe. And no matter how safe you make them, there's a risk. There's a small amount of damage. You can't just get x-rays all day, every day. You would die. So a doctor might say, well, you can get at least 100 a year. Okay, I think that's an exaggeration, but that's not the point either. The point is direction. Is it called for? Does it do bodily damage? And that's the end of the conversation as far as I'm concerned. It's not a question of magnitude. You see the subtle card trick there. Switching the complaint to magnitude from direction. This is the observation that I want to share. Switching from, I don't like paying for something that hurts me and is completely uncalled for, and is based on the assumption that I don't know what I'm talking about in this case. Okay, so that's the direction I'm complaining about. And then, somebody, a hypothetical person defending the process or the policy would say, well, they're safe now, safe enough. You're missing my point. On purpose, you're missing my point. You're saying it's about magnitude. I'm saying it's the wrong direction. There's no amount of magnitude that's going to be acceptable. Zero. Zero's acceptable. Anyway, I want to talk about antibiotics, but that's a whole different video. So beware of these tricks. People telling you that it could be worse. Okay, here's another one. I'm going to wrap it up with this one. It could be worse. Well, you're missing the point that it's unsatisfactory in that case. You're dismissing another protest. Somebody said it's not good enough. And then you hear this all the time. Well, it could be worse. Okay, sure. You're missing my point. Point is, it's not good enough. It's unsatisfactory. People redirect things. They capitalize on people's tendency to confuse opposites. I'll say that one more time. People capitalize on people's tendency to confuse opposites. And they use these little opportunities to redirect the meaning of words, and then they obtain control of your belief, control of your behavior. And this is so common, you don't even realize it. So pay attention to direction and magnitude, like in math. I think in math terms a lot because I do geometry, I do graphics and games. It's helpful to conceptualize things. Education in general is helpful because it helps you look at things in different ways. You don't realize all the different ways that it helps you. Like math, for example. When are you going to use algebra? Geez, I don't know. Maybe you're not going to use algebra for algebra, but to compare ideas algebraically. Anyway, I'm at almost 6 minutes. I'm going to go cook my breakfast, which might be my lunch, and I hope you have a great day. Reach out if you have questions at whitehotrobot@gmail.com. Thank you. Bye.